Welcome back to the Mind Body Business Podcast. My name is Jane Vellante. It is Motivation Monday. I am absolutely on fire and excited to talk about this topic with you today. And the topic of who you want to be in 2026. We are at the end of the year. And traditional strategy, traditional models are telling you right now that you better make your goals for 2026. You better set up your structure, set up your strategy, and get ready to hustle. And what I want to talk about today is the exact opposite of that. And I really, really want to talk about who you're being and who do you want to be in 2026 and how we can close that gap. So it's really and truly about identity. It's not about hustle, because hustle keeps us in the cycle of nothing. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the law of assumption. We're going to talk about the law of oneness, and we are going to talk about our identity, who we're actually being, and the reality of who we're being. Welcome to the Mind Body Business Podcast. I'm your host, Jane Vellante. And this show is about what happens when you stop separating your life, your work, and your well-being, and start leading all of it from truth. Each episode will explore the connection between your thoughts, your body, and your business, so you can create a life and success that actually feels good. Let's get started. So let's get into this. This is the last podcast of the year, and I'm so excited because the structure that I am coming into next year with, which is, just in a few days, it's in like 9 days, right? Is not strategy, it's not hype, it's not hustle, it's flow. And this is key to me closing the gap of who I am now and my desire. And it's building that invisible bridge in between the two, in that valley, in that gap, and understanding that each step I take just appears and that I'm supported and that everything behind me is burning away. So the key here in understanding that reality of who you're being is asking yourself what identity you're operating from right now. And understanding that the actions that we take from that identity creates the reality of our business, of our lives. And conceptually, we can think we're being something, but underneath the surface, there's something else that's running the show, and that's your true and actual and real identity. And you've heard me talk about this numerous times, right? This is what I talk about all the time. I am an identity coach. I geek out on this stuff. And it's so fascinating. So let's talk about the law of assumption, because understanding what this is will help you step into 2026 as a different person. So the definition, loosely, is you get what you assume is true. So underneath it all, what are you assuming? So it could be the assumption, like me, like I don't fit in. This is what I assumed all the time. I don't fit in. I'm going to try to fit in, but I don't fit in, right? Or there's never enough, no matter how hard I try, there will never be enough. So let's use this never enough as an example. If you are creating something new in your business and you're excited about it, you're following this intuition like, wow, this is so cool. I can't wait to do this. But if you are assuming in the background that there's never enough, there's never going to be enough, and you put this thing out into the world, whatever it is, a new project, a new class, a new coaching program, a new, whatever it is, if you're assuming underneath everything that there's not enough or there's never enough, that's what you're going to get. You get what you assume is true. And the thing is that we don't even understand that we're operating as this identity. So, what are you assuming? Are you assuming that people are going to laugh at you? Are you assuming that people are going to think you're not good enough? Are you assuming that no one's going to sign up? That was me. And that is a pattern that I can totally fall back into. I'm so good at switching it now because, I've been really, really diving deep into subconscious brain patterning and all of that. So, what are you assuming? And if you are here live with me, put it in the comments. What are you assuming? What are you really assuming about yourself, about your work, about your future? Are you assuming that if it isn't perfect, you can't put it out? Are you assuming that if you don't have everything laid out exactly perfect, that people are going to laugh at you? That people are going to think that you're not good enough? Like, what are you assuming? And this might be something that you need to journal on, you know, or just really getting quiet and taking that deep breath and closing your eyes and just asking yourself that question in silence. What are you really assuming about yourself, your work, and your future? You get what you assume is true, whether or not you understand that this is your assumption. But it is the same pattern that's happening over and over and over again. So if you look at the patterns that keep showing up for you in your life, the ones that you're so sick of, the ones that you're like, God, I cannot believe this is happening again. And this could be money. Like money is never coming in, or it's just trickling in, or when you get it, it's gone right away. There's never enough to pay your bills. You're always checking that bank account. If that's your pattern, what are you assuming is true? Money is not for you. Money is for other people. Money never comes in. You're not worthy. If what you're assuming is true, or that pattern that's happening over and over again is that people leave you, or that nobody ever signs up for your stuff, or nobody ever buys your stuff, or you really only sell one thing or two things every month and you're trying so hard, what are you assuming is true? Look at your own patterns and then ask yourself, what is my assumption? Is it always hard for you? Do you tell yourself you're overwhelmed? Do you tell yourself you're lazy for resting? What is it? What do you assume is true? What are you really assuming about yourself, your work, or your future? So this is the law of assumption. You get what you assume is true. So then there's the law of oneness, or it could be called the divine law of oneness. It's called numerous different things, but the definition is that there is zero separation between you and your desires. The law of oneness, no separation. It's closing that gap that I was just talking about, that invisible bridge as you're stepping across and everything behind you is burning away. There is no gap. You are it now. You are embodying and becoming the version of you who already has what they want. And when I say this to you, how does it make you feel in your body? Because this is who you're operating as. This is who you're being. If you have this desire over here and you're over here telling yourself you're never going to get it, there is that huge gap. I want this. I can't have it. 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 Right? Where are you creating that separation? Where is that separation being created? That's that law of assumption. I want this. That's the side, right? I want this. I can't have it. I want this. I can't have it. Gap. So how do you close that gap? How do you embody that? How do you become the version of you who already has it? And this is what I mean when I am asking you to step into 2026 as a different person. Because if you step into 2026 with all of these strategies and all of these goals and this, masculine idea of hustling, because that's what's conditioned into us in our society. Like, you got to hustle, got to work hard, right? Got to work hard, got to hustle, spin the plates, step in the hamster wheel. But what I want to ask you, and I want you to like really, really be honest with yourself, is like, haven't you done this before? Haven't you made all of these plans for yourself? Stepped in, tried to hustle, and then immediately, or maybe not immediately, maybe you go for 6 months, but you burn out. And you go, why isn't this working? Maybe you experience a little bit of a level of success, but then it just declines again. Like, man, the strategy isn't working. I better go find somebody else that can give me a strategy. I better go watch somebody else who's already doing it. I better pretend that I'm that person instead of understanding who you really are. Who are you? You aren't somebody that has to compare yourself to people all the time. You are inherently already worthy now. All of the desires that you have for your life and your business, they are literally already here. They're already here. But you keep telling yourself that they're not. You keep telling yourself that you can't have them. You keep telling yourself that if it's not perfect, I can't put it out. You keep telling yourself that I better overthink this to death. Who are you? Who are you being right now? Who are you being as you step into this new year that is full of potential? It is 100% possible, 100% of the time. Who are you being? That's how you close the gap between, what you want and who you are now. Between what you want and what you have now. That's how you close the gap. You change how you're being. This is identity. This is Albert Einstein's the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. This is what that means. This is your identity. If you go into 2026 with the identity that you had in 2025, guess what's going to happen? 2025 all over again. And maybe it was good. Maybe you had some amazing changes, but at the core of everything, nothing really changed. You're still juggling. You're still doubting over and over. You're following that intuition. You're like, man, this is great. This is going to be so good. But that doubt is still there. Maybe I really can't do this. Maybe I'm really not worthy of actually having what I want. This is never going to happen for me. Maybe I should just get a job. I understand this at the core of my being. This is the shift. So it's like stripping away those strategic goals, because if you don't meet those goals, what does it mean about you? Who are you saying you are if you don't meet your goals? And yep, they can be a benchmark, and that's great. But what if you let go of all of that grip? What if you let go of the grip? What if you operated from the person who already has your desires? And you go, well, I don't get that because I don't already have that. I don't understand how to do that. And it is really being honest with yourself, really letting yourself understand what the negative energy is in your body and bringing it to the surface. Stop pretending it's not there. Confront it. What is it all about? Because most of the time, it's about you telling yourself you're not worthy. So how can you have something, this desire that you have, that is all about being worthy, if inherently you are unworthy? How? You can't. You can't live in an identity that you are unworthy and have everything that a worthy person has. And this is the illusion. This is the conditioning. We are conditioned to fit in a society that is made up. And it's all made up. It's an illusion. We are already worthy. So it's confronting those doubts, those anxieties, the stresses in your body and going, what is this all about? And you don't have to sit and figure it out, because that will keep you in the cycle of figuring it out all the time. Just bring it to the surface. Don't wash it away, right? That's awareness. You hear me talk about awareness all the time. That is the awareness. Bring that negativity to the surface, because the law of assumption, again, is you get what you assume to be true. So if you have no idea what you assume to be true, how will you ever get anything that you actually want? Who are you being? Find out. So you can go, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. You're not shaming yourself. You're not feeling guilt for doing it, because we are not robots. We are humans. You're just understanding who you're being so that you can be someone else. It's just choice. And we go, oh God, but it's so hard. It's so hard for me to love myself. It's so hard. I get it. But we choose for it to be hard. That is choice. What if you just dropped all of these preconceived notions that you have about yourself and became one with your desires now? What if? What would change? How would you feel? That's the key. If you had everything you've ever wanted now, how would you feel? And drop into the feelings. I would feel free. I would feel happy. I would feel joy, right? That is a choice that you can have now. We're not waiting for something to happen. And then that's the signal that we can be more abundant. That's the signal we can be more happy. That's the signal that we can love ourselves. Oh, yep. When this is done, I can do this. Or when finally I get this, then I will be happy. Then I will feel the joy. And that is the thing, is that you can have that now if you choose it now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to lay out this 10-step plan that you're going to follow, and you're going to follow it step by step. And then finally, you're going to have the business that you want. You can have it now. Who are you being? What are you assuming to be true for you? Find this out. Become aware. Let the feelings surface. Stop shoving them back down so that you're living in a daily existence of anxiety and unworth. Understand who you're being. Understand what identity you're working from, because then you can switch it. It is just choice. Close that gap of what you want and who you're being, or who you're being and what you want, right? Your desires. Close the gap. Step over the bridge. Build the bridge as you go. Commit with energy of possibility. And when the doubt creeps in, you dismiss it. You don't sink into it. You don't go down into the lack hole and become a victim again. You go, yes, yes, this is what I want. Yes, this is who I am. Yes, this is who I'm being. That is how 2026 will be different from you. So you aren't sitting in that definition of insanity time and time and time and time again. You actually see what it is that you want manifesting around you. This is the 2026 that we are stepping into. Focusing on this identity. What traits, what beliefs, what assumptions do you need to leave behind? Hey, Royce. What do you need to leave behind? What actually becomes inevitable if you close the gap and become one with your desires? What becomes inevitable? What happens to you? What happens inside your body? What happens in your life? Who do you want to be in 2026? Who do you want to be? So I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there because that sums it all up. I trust that whoever watched this or listened to this will have a shift. I trust that if this resonates with you and you're not already working with me, that you will step in. I trust that your 2026 will be the year that you finally understand who the F you are, and that you will finally operate as that. I will see you in 2026. And I trust that you will have a wonderful rest of your year, that you will allow yourself to rest, that you will allow yourself to let these negative energies surface in your life so that you can choose not to sink into them. You can choose who you want to be. Thanks, Royce. Merry Christmas to you too. And I will see you all in 2026.